you're a dungeon master for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, either 1E, 2E, Unearthed Arcana, or any of the expansions, there's AD&D Toolkit. Like most DMs in AD&D, you probably either totally ignore or have seriously abridged a lot of the very cool systems within it. And that can be a smart move in the past, not so smart when you have a tool like Toolkit to make use of. The reason is we can actually employ those very cool systems without bogging the game down or slowing down the action. So for instance here, inventory, the amount of things you're carrying should affect your encumbrance for your character and thereby their movement. So this is my mage Hab, and he's right on the cusp of maximum movement of 120. If he was to come across, let's say, an arrow he found on the ground, wanted to pick it up, throw it into his inventory, I just click this little plus button, and you'll see he now has 2 arrows instead of that 1. Color's changed here because now he's slightly penalized. His movement went from 120 to 90 because his encumbrance value went up. Another very cool system I can show you real quickly is, and this is actually tied into the one I just showed you about encumbrance, but this is using, here's your to-hit table, this top row for the various enemy armor classes. And the bottom row is optional. I have this engaged from this campaign. You don't need to if you don't want to in Toolkit. You can use 1E protocol or 2E protocol. And what these are weapon versus armor adjustments. And pretty much every dungeon master I know in 1E ignores this because it's a very unwieldy system, slows down combat. With Toolkit, it doesn't. And how this works is if Hab was using the weapon he has currently equipped and fighting against an enemy who is armored, meaning he's got to be humanoid of some type, he's wearing ringmail, chainmail, some kind of armor, and he's at armor class 5, Hab would need a 14 to hit him. But based on the type of weapon that Hab has equipped currently, and Toolkit keeps track of that, the enemy would receive a -1 to their AC, which is actually a bonus in 1st edition. So this AC 5 turns to an AC 4, and Hab needs a 15 or better on the D20 to hit. It's that simple. And the reason I said that this THACO score is tied into the inventory is because what this does, practically speaking, is it causes my players to really think about what they're carrying, the equipment they're using. If you're not keeping track of weapon versus armor adjustments or encumbrance in this level of detail, then players usually have a handful of weapons they use based upon just damage that they're going to do to hit bonuses. But if they have to consider weight, and if they also have to consider this weapon versus armor adjustment, then there's a lot more choices to consider, a lot more things to factor in when choosing weapons, and it actually promotes weapon diversity amongst my players. So I really like that. So I hope this was helpful in showing you just one of the many reasons why AD&D Toolkit can bring value to your Advanced Dungeons & Dragons game.